Very big welcome to you, my dear Cancer. Now the Sun and the Moon are both in your sign. You are getting the new moon, and that's the moment where we plant a seed, where we're ready to start a new cycle. This is the last time we are reading to the left, and after this we're going out to the right again with the love that you're holding here, the cup, the Holy Grail. And you are the number 7. That's the emotional intelligence in the crown chakra. You know that you want to be in the dark but also in the light, and you are determined to bring this love out into the world. And so this is the moment, this is the day where you really want to plant a seed. So Sun and new moon both in your sign. We are gonna look, of course, at Lilith, the high priestess. And I gave this to you because you are connected with the moon, and usually the moon is connected with Pisces. And that's why I give you the high priestess. And so we're going to look at Lilith, and Lilith is the wild woman in us. Lilith is the one that has the desire, that has the wild nature, the taboo also in it, right? The lust and the push to do things that society sometimes doesn't like that you do that. And the sun, of course, remember the sun, that's this, I want to show myself out in this world. And we're going to also look at Jupiter. Jupiter is in Cancer. So you are going to feel that you want to expand, you want to go out there and show who you are. Then we're going to look at the Queen of Cups. And here I used to give you a date, and I'm going to divide it in 3 parts. And so there is the Queen of Cups that has above her the Lovers, and the Lovers is Gemini, and so this is between the 10th and the 21st of June. Here we have the Queen of Cups and the Lovers above as a soul aspect. This was in the last reading because the moon was in Gemini, and so I'm always using the moon, regardless if you have it in your chart or not, to bring me through the subconscious the information for you. Then we have the classical Cancer. Here the Chariot above, and below also the Queen of Cups. And you see through the same deck that this is Cancer, Tarot, because each zodiac sign has their own deck. Then there is another combination, and that's the King of Wands, which has the soul aspect above him through the Chariot, but here he's the King of Wands, and that's between the 13th of July and the 22nd of July. And I just realized I forgot to give the dates here. So here are the dates between the 22nd of June and the 12th of June, right? And here the dates are between the 13th of July to the 22nd of July. So understand that this mix changes the reading, right? And I'm realizing how much more accurate the whole reading is getting. Back to the last reading where we had Gemini, Sun giving Cancer, Moon the light, and we had Saturn in Aries as a station, and that's now finished. The Queen of Cups is love overflowing. The King of Wands, you're thinking of leaving. And you see that these short, quick messages are connected with the station, the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. And so then the rest of the reading is for both. Now I looked if there's a reoccurring energy coming back to you, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 cards coming back to you, and so we're gonna have to look at that. Good, so we begin with the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups between the 22nd of June to the 12th of July. she's getting the 3 of Swords. And here we get a 7. The 4th house of home and family, and the 3 of Swords, Saturn in Libra. And you see that this is then a 7-7 portal. Something is bothering you. Something is not feeling right. So observe what's going on, because this is just in your mind. What is coming from the Mother Peace Row, the Shaman of Wands? Now, he's with you, right, under the umbrella of here, the Chariot. And remember, the Chariot is the spiritual warrior, and he needs to understand that he has the connection with the King of Wands. And so the Queen of Cups shares with the King of Wands the umbrella of the emotional intelligence. And so since he's reverse, it's almost like saying here you are having a hard time with this King of Wands, because the 3 of Swords are here. So the 3 and the 5 is an 8. The 8 and the 4, that's a 12. And the 12, that's Neptune. Neptune is in Aries. And things are difficult for some people, and for some people aren't, right? So it's always like, what's your sign? What's going on? And the more we understand how complex the whole thing is above us, the more we understand why everything is so complex here. Now, what is the King of Wands bringing? He's bringing you the temptation, and that's Capricorn. Capricorn is bringing you that you are tempted to do something that maybe not feels so good. The 15 and the 5 is the 20, and that's the last judgment. That's Pluto. Pluto is in Aquarius right now. And there's a lot of attachment. There's a lot of temptation out in the world. And the 20 and the 7 is the 27. There we get the 9. A completion is coming here to you. Now, what is here Capricorn bringing? And Capricorn is bringing the Hierophant. Now, we have a new Pope, right? And we understand that the spiritual message that comes through the 5, and this 5 is a 5-5 portal, framing the 15, which when we calculate the 15 together, we get the 6, and the 6 is love. We can only get this temptation of ourselves through the understanding that we need to combine the 5 senses with the 6th sense, which is then the 3rd eye. And maybe that's what you see. You see that people are off, people are all over the place, right? And so we have the 25 here, which is a 7, and then here the 7, it's a 7-7 portal. Now, of course, I want to know what is bringing here Taurus, right? Because I'm going to go until I have a minor arcana. I'm just going to put this down. And what came after the Hierophant is the High Priestess. And it's saying Lilith. Lilith, the wild woman in you, can handle all of this. And all of this is intense. I'm just going to try to put this all together. Lilith can handle this. Lilith is the one that says, well, guess what? I'm able to handle anything, because here the Hierophant and the High Priestess is kind of like a spiritual couple, and that's a 7 as well, right? And then here in the center we have the 15 and the 5 is the 20. So we have a 7-7 and the 20. And the 20, that's her. We can also calculate the 20 with her, the 2, the 22. That's Uranus. That's the revolution. And it's almost like here is a revolution. Here's something that wants to come through you. The healer in you is saying, well, guess what? You got to look deep. You got to look at everything, because you are the healer. And so here the message is really clear, really strong. You need to be ready to understand that life is throwing you quite energy at you, but because you're the healer, you can handle it. The King of Fire. And so he is connected, of course, with the Chariot as well, between the 13th of July to the 22nd of July, and he got the 7 of Water. And the 7 of Water is Venus in Scorpio. And so the 5 and the 7 is also a 12. Very interesting, right? We had a 12 with the Queen of Cups with the Three of Swords and with the King of Wands. That was a 12 as well. And the 12, usually when we calculate together, we get the 3, the Empress. An Empress can handle anything. She's Venus. And so Venus in Scorpio is saying, well, are you disillusioned right now because you are seeing into this emotional craziness that's out there and you are questioning everything right now? Then, of course, I want to see what is bringing the Mother Piece to her, and you get the Sun of Swords to the left. And so the Sun of Swords is Gemini, and that's the 3rd house. 3 and 7 is 10, the 10 and the 5. Also the 15, the temptation, the devil, the attachment to financial success, through anything where I can be the leader. Right? And he is quite an intense character in this deck. He kills, he is destructive with his words as well. He destroys the roses. And so the 10, it's almost like saying there's a new cycle after this happening, right? You have realized something deep within you. And the 10 and the 5, the 15, the 6 is left. But what is coming from Gemini, the Queen of Pentacles. So here we get Capricorn, right? We get the Queen of Pentacles. And so it's clear the 15 that turned into a 6, the 6 and the 10 is the 16. That's Mars. Certain things got to go in sense of money, attachment to success, attachment to being a billionaire, attachment to being ultra rich and having power over other people. This kind of attachment doesn't work. And we see the horns that she holds here in her head, right? But it's like made of branches. What is the Queen of Pentacles saying? She's bringing you the 8 of Cups. And that's a card that came last time as well, right? And so you got to understand that the 8 of Cups, which is Saturn in Pisces, you learn through the 7 and the 8 that here comes another 15. 15 cups. And you know that in the 15 cups, again, the attachment is there. Attachment to certain feelings, to certain being a certain way, and learning to discern and calculate the 15 together into a 6. And so when Saturn is in Pisces, which was, right, Saturn is now in Aries, and Aries is ruled by Mars. And so you are learning to understand that something is wanting to go. You gotta change something because you know there is much better out there. This illusion is hard on us, right? Sometimes we wake up and we're like, oh my God, what is all of this about, right? This world is crazy, and we need to really understand how crazy it really is. Now, I forgot to let you know that the Hierophant came last time as well, and so you are needing to look into your spiritual practice and ground yourself, because you also have then the High Priestess, and the High Priestess is Lilith. Lilith is the dark, wild side, so maybe this is Lilith resting here on the apple, and she's the one that bites in the apple. Lilith. Lilith is getting the Ace of Wands, and that's a card that came last time as well. And I'm just seeing that the 8 of Cups came twice last time. So not only once, but twice. And so it's coming again, and it's almost saying, yes, you got to leave. And so here the 2 and the 1 is the 3. That's the Empress. And I want to see, of course, what is coming from Scorpio, because Lilith is not a planet. Lilith is a point in the moon circling around the earth, and it's the furthest point away. And so here comes the Ace of Pentacles, and you have the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles, and all the dark side that we cover from society is like we're taking action to make more money. We want to be an eagle that's on this coin. We want to be rich. We all want to have money. And we see that the Queen of Pentacles is holding that money. She is clearly in there, and the attachments that results from just that. And so here we have an 11 and the 2. The 2nd of November or the 11th of February as a date. The holy money, the holy action. And when we calculate this together, it's a 2-2, and that's Uranus. That's the holy revolution. A revolution that says, I'm not gonna play the game of just simply always wanting money. I am the money. I am the action. And through that, I can survive anything. Jupiter in Cancer is getting the Sleeping Beauty dream, the 3, the Empress, which has come up, and the 3 of Swords, right? So understand that there is a 33 connecting these two together, but understand really clearly that we need to awaken from this slumber, because the 10 and the 3 is the 13, and that's Scorpio, and Scorpio brought the Ace of Pentacles, money. The money system that we created needs to go completely. We need to rewrite history. We need to create a new wheel of fortune. And we need to understand that Jupiter is saying, yes, dream of things on a better level, because the 4 results out of it. What is coming from your deck, because Jupiter is in your sign? The 3 of Cups, which is Mercury in Cancer. So we had the 3 of Swords and the 3 of Cups. So sometimes this pleasureful moment, right, is overshadowed by the 3 of Swords, by a thinking, I used to be such a happy person and I'm not. And we had 15 cups, and now 3 is 18 cups, and the 18 is the moon, right? The moon, that is now a new moon, and in your sign saying, well, plant a seed. Whatever seed you're planting is take action, pure action, holy action in the material world, so that you can be rich, but you don't need to be rich to a level where you have control over others. And so the 13 plus the 3 is the 16, and the 16 is Mars. Something's gotta go. Wake up from this dream and see that you need to come then into the 7, that you are the chariot, that you are connected through the spiritual into giving everybody the equal pleasure of the 33, because this is mastery, and the 10 just stays by itself, right? And the 33 is a really powerful moment in your life where you're recognizing, well, I'm not just dreaming about it anymore. I am living it. I am feeling it. The moon is bringing you the netcaster. The preparations come to fruition. And so here the 42 turns into a 6, the 18 into a 9. Again, we get a 15. So the attachments, Lilith is saying, well, look at all this beautiful money. We can make so much money. And then what? What's happening to the people who have a lot of money? They become very decadent. Rarely you see someone that is really not being controlled by money. And so the 15 turns into a 6. What is coming from your deck, because the moon is in your sign? The Lovers. And the Lovers is Gemini, and Gemini is saying, well, then we have a 6-6 here, or from the 15 a 6 and here a 6, right? It doesn't matter. You get a 6-6 portal, and the 6 we know is here with the 15, right? And the 6 is also here with the 7 of Cups and the 8 of Cups, the 15 Cups, that's a 6, right? And Gemini has come here as the Sun of Swords, right? And so understand clearly that here is a message from Gemini, from the communication, from learning that everything has its moment. And so 6-6 is clear, letting you know what is next, what is coming from Gemini. The 9 of Pentacles, and the 9 of Pentacles came last time as well, right? So the 8 of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the Hierophant and the Nine of Pentacles have come last time. And so you realize now that it's important to awaken to the fact that here's a 6-6 and here a 9-9. The Nine of Pentacles, that's the moment where we awaken to Venus in Virgo. In us, we understand the money. We understand that 9 and 1 is the 10, and 10 is a lot of money, and that's really what we're seeing in the world. All the wars is just about how much more money, how much more power, how much I can tell others, well, I can do whatever with you, and you are not important, and this is just coming from the ego. So a lot of people are needing to awaken, and particularly you, the healer, can help them to show them that everybody has the right to be here in this world and live a good life. We all deserve that. The Sun here is bringing you the voice, and the voice is calling into the Sun, right? The 19 turns into a 10, and the 25 into a 7. The 10 and the 7 is the 17. That's Aquarius. To be a star, because the Sun is a dwarf star, you need to make your voice heard. What is coming from your deck? The Queen of Pentacles is coming again. And the Queen of Pentacles got the 8 of Cups. She knows when to move on. She knows when something is not right, particularly here with Gemini, who can be quite intense. And so here, this Queen of Pentacles, right? You understand this is twice you get the Queen of Pentacles. So there's definitely a Capricorn. You had the temptation, the soul aspect from Capricorn, and the 15 came up a few times. So you understand something is cleared, and because Capricorn is opposite of you, that's when you go back to the full moon. And in that full moon, right, we understand that the full moon that you're giving to Capricorn is now highlighting a big healing for the Queen of Pentacles, right? And so here it comes up. And what is she getting? The 3 of Cups. And the 3 of Cups, right, we had already here through your deck, the 3 of Cups, Mercury in Cancer. Mercury in Cancer is saying, well, you are living in plenty, in fulfillment, in everything that you desire, right? Because the 10 and the 3 again is the 13, then we get the 4 in the transformation. Here the 17, the 8 and the 4, the 12. And the 12, Neptune, you're not dreaming about it anymore. You're taking action. And then the 3 is left. The 3, the Empress that is dreaming about a world where peacefulness is at the forefront. So we have a 3 here, then we have another 3 here, and then we have another 3 here. 3 times the 3, and here the 3, 4 times the 3, right? And you understand, okay, something is important here that we need to awaken to. We need to be heard. We need to tell the people, hey, you find self-empowerment deep within you, in also understanding that the darkness is not a dark side. It's just where we put our dreams in, where we place our desires, where we dream our dreams into being, where we take action, where we see that that action brings the money. And we understand more and more how important it is that then 10 coins are coming here, right? And that's the 10th house of the Capricorn. And you understand that money can be simply just plucked from a tree. And that's why there is war, because the war is all about the resources. We need the resources. We need to make money with what this planet gives us. But why do we need all this money? It's an illusion. It's a feeling that we think is important, but it's an attachment at the same time. So awaken out of it, because otherwise we're going to not only destroy the world, but we're also going to destroy our own selves. And only love, real love, true love, can heal all of that. And so make your voice heard, right? You have Cancer, the 7-7. Make your voice heard. It is important. What you're saying is bringing love and consciousness to the people. And in there, we see also that this couple, this spiritual couple, the 5 and the 2, is a 7 as well. And in that 7, we awaken from the illusion that everything here is simply just to create a net worth of connections. But the connections are where we can celebrate, with whom we celebrate, with whom are we in connection in the 33, in the mastery, right? If you see the people outside hungry and you inside and you're celebrating the plenty, can you really enjoy it? Are you really happy in doing so? So wake up, right? And speak up and help all, because you are all. Wow. Beautiful, right? Sometimes I'm like, wow, what a message sometimes comes through. So I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when we got the Sun in Leo. Leo has come up, right? The 5th zodiac sign, a reverse. So something is not clear here, particularly with the 3 of Swords. So know that. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me, and I wish you a beautiful new moon celebration where you are planting the seed for the next cycle. Namaste.